Hey everyone, welcome back to my therapy lounge. My name is Joanna. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and today is episode 17 of Walks with Lily, where I walk my dog and we talk about anything mental health. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the lesser known trauma responses called the fawn response. So, have you ever said yes when you really want to say no, or apologize for something that wasn't your fault? Maybe you've even stayed quiet in an argument just to keep the peace. If this sounds familiar, then you may be experiencing the fawn response, which is when you prioritize others' needs over your own. Unlike fight, flight, or freeze, which are more visibly reactive, fawning involves appeasement, compliance, and self-abandonment to stay safe. So today we're going to talk about what is the fawn response, how does it develop, and how does it present in work, in our relationships, and family, and then what we can do, how we can respond when we're experiencing this trauma response. So let's get into it. But before we get into fawning, let's do a quick review of the three more common trauma responses: the fight, flight, or freeze, because understanding these can help explain as to why some of us default to people-pleasing instead. Fight is confronting the danger, so for example, yelling in an argument. Flight is running away. So for example, leaving a stressful situation. And freeze would be shutting down, so going blank during a conversation. But there is a fourth response, which is fawn, where instead of fighting, fleeing, or freezing, we try to appease the threat by people pleasing. And if you want more detail on the fight, flight, or freeze response, watch my video. I'll attach it up there. And it describes each of those three responses in more detail, as well as how to manage each response. So while fawning can seem nicer than the other responses, it can leave us feeling drained, resentful, and even disconnected from who we really are. So what is the fawn response? Fawning equals people-pleasing to survive. So the fawn response develops when we learn that keeping others happy is the safest option. This often comes from childhood experiences where conflict was dangerous. So having an unpredictable or highly critical caregiver, where love was conditional, so having to earn approval by being good, and personal boundaries were punished, so saying no led to rejection or anger. In adulthood, this can show up as saying yes when you mean no, avoiding conflict at all costs, and feeling responsible for others' emotions. Over time, this becomes an automatic response to avoid real or perceived threats, not just physical danger, but also emotional rejection, criticism, and abandonment. So let's break down some real-life examples. First one is at work. Your boss dumps extra work on you. Instead of pushing back, you say, no problem, even though you're already overwhelmed. Number two is in relationships. So your partner snaps at you, and instead of addressing their reaction, you immediately ask, oh, are you mad at me? Or did I do something wrong? Number three, with family. Your parent guilt trips you. Instead of setting a boundary, you drop everything to make them happy. So the problem with this response is that over time, you can feel not only drained, but you might actually forget what it is that you really want and what it is that you really need, because you're so used to prioritizing others. So this is where everyone else's needs come before mine. So how can you recognize if you're fawning, and then what can you do to heal? So first, ask yourself these three questions. Do I feel guilty when I say no? Do I avoid conflict even if it hurts me? Do I struggle to identify my own needs? So if you answered yes to any of those questions, here's what you can do to start healing. First is practice tiny no's. So start small. For example, I can't today, but maybe next time. Second is tolerate discomfort. Remind yourself their reaction is not my responsibility. And third is reconnect with yourself. So, for example, you can incorporate a daily journal practice. What do I actually want here? So, by setting these boundaries with yourself and others, it's not about being selfish, it's about learning that your safety doesn't depend on pleasing everyone. If you can relate to this, know that fawning kept you safe in the past, but you deserve to take up space now. Healing isn't about flipping a switch, it's about small, consistent steps toward honoring your needs. Let me know in the comments down below, do you struggle with the fawn response? What's one small boundary you can set this week? If this resonated with you, please hit the like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who you think might need it. And check out my video on how to set boundaries without feeling guilty. Thanks for watching, and remember, your needs matter too. Alrighty, everyone, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.